It's Kimmy here. Who else would it be? This is the mini market update for January 9th. First of all, if there are any audio or visual concerns, please let me know. I'm in kind of a new, I'm kind of in a new area where I am at. I'm kind of in the process of making a different studio. We are expecting the arrival of my daughter, things like that. So I'm moving things around. What you hear now is what I'm expecting to keep presenting. So if this sounds good, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know. Any criticism is welcome for the most part. so we will get started here. We're going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. We're not doing Sui and Dogecoin for the time being, really until further notice. And so we will take a look at this. And I do want to mention that I feel like right now, like it's almost like a bad word to say things are bearish, and it's a strange beast out there to say like you can't even acknowledge that the fact like Bitcoin has gone down about 12 to 13% from the highs here. Okay, and so it's like it's almost considered like a sin to just let people know that that's happened. And it's really strange. I'm getting that on my feed quite a bit. Some people have said that they have not gotten on that on their feed, so maybe that's just my mirrored image of a social media feed. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. All I know is I'm kind of chilling for the time being, because I do think that we're going to be in a reaccumulation period. I'm looking at something like this, and I do think that we're going to bounce up around here, and so um, I think we could end up getting a bridge here to about low 90s, high 80s, and then we launch up from there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. What's weird to me is that there's a lot of hopium out there, which is fine. I like hopium. I think that's welcome. But a lot of people are anticipating this with some sort of catalyst. So like the inauguration, or the rate cuts, or the ETFs, or whatever. And so like you have this indication, like I really like this is nothing different than like the FOMC meetings from 2 years ago. Okay, when we were at the lows, like everybody was looking things bearishly down here from the lows and thinking like, because I remember we had an FOMC meeting right here and we rejected. And everybody's like, oh, all right, we're going to $2 basically, and that ended up not being the case. Okay, and so what I do know, and I'm just stating the facts, and the fact that I had to clarify this is a cause of concern for me. But when you start to really get into the game with this, this has to be on log. Yeah, it does. Okay, sorry, a little annoying to me. When you start getting into the zone with these things, you start to focus on those meetings, focus on different catalysts to continue your bias, things like that. And honestly, that's probably a time that you should, um, kind of step back and look at things differently and say like, okay, maybe we shouldn't follow those things. This is new to me too, and this is kind of bugging me. I don't know. Maybe that's just historic. Anyway, I'll figure that later. But now we're kind of doing this the same way. It's like, all right, now we're trying to find reasons to stay bullish. Oh, we have this. We have the inauguration. We got the ETFs. We got everybody's bullish. Like everybody in this centralized government entity is all of a sudden bullish on Bitcoin and crypto after they've been bearish for some time. I'll give you a clue. They're not as bullish as you think that they are. They just want to get their skin in the game. Okay, and so I'm not saying that that can't be good for Bitcoin. I think it can, but I think a lot of people are really too into that. Like they're looking for reasons to continue to long their longs, at a time when we have had a 3 week bear divergence. So I'll go to this really just a second. And so 3 week bear divergence here, and then we have a 1 month bear divergence as well. Okay, and also we have a sell liquidity signal on my Aaron for both of those time frames, something that we don't get very often, something that in most cases, not all, but most, have indicated that we drop, or that is a, at minimum, a local top, like significant local top. Okay, so according to this monthly, um, this would be roughly around this range. Okay, roughly around the 71,000 to 74,000 marker. Okay, and I don't. And the funny thing is, this would still technically be bullish because it's above my band. So again, I don't expect people to understand what the band means, but basically it's part of a bullish trend, and as long as it's above the band, it's still trending. So that's the thing. Like we could drop down to 74, 75,000, and we could still be bullish here. Okay, and I don't think a lot of people are prepared for that. Um, this cycle is a very strange cycle because people are really overly bullish at a time when I don't think that there's much reason to be. Um, I think, like it hasn't been for a little over a month already. Like, yeah, we got up pretty high, but we rejected that. That's a swing failure pattern at a high. It's not good. Okay. Aaron, we have a very significant, very wide 92 percentile, a bearish wedge here. So 0 to 92%. So 92% gap on the bearish wedge. That's significant. That's very significant. You can't get much higher than that. Okay. And so the lower that we go down, that basically means, if you divide this by 7 roughly, you have about 12 to 13, you know, um, months, not days, not weeks, months before we could see another reclaim. Now, a lot of times it does it by half. It's about 33. So that's going to be about 8 to 10 months. So or actually like 7. So 7 to 10 months. So looking mainly around the 7 month marker if we're fortunate. 5 months, 4 months possibly, but that's still going to be another quarter at a minimum, and so that's one reason I'm calculating this. Okay, I'm bouncing all around, but my point is, I don't think people are prepared for us to come down all of a sudden, and it's what's even weirder is like a lot of people are very dismissive about bullish stuff. It's like if you say something, or bearish stuff, I should say, like you say something bearish, people are ready to not quite attack you, but just give you very heavy criticism for that. And I don't understand that because the charts are being very clear, in my opinion, here. Now, if we go bullish instead, this invalidates and we can continue to run. And that's another thing that really is kind of strange because if this ends up being bullish, we have plenty of time to get back in. Okay, so for example, like if we have something like this, I mean, I could always long this here and do just fine, right? However long that wants to go to. So that's the thing I don't quite understand. Like, I don't understand why people are so openly bullish and longing things when things are going down. And it's only gone down 13%, but it's only gone down 13%. It could go even farther, okay? You got this flag here at 72, 74,000. This is where that bullish breaker is that I've been talking about, okay? With the swing high order block. This is a very key range. I will not be surprised if we go down to low 70s, maybe even touch a wick into the 69, 68,000 marker. We'll see. I'm not necessarily saying it is. I kind of hope it doesn't, but everything is kind of looking a little weak, especially the higher time frames that you go. This is a clear-cut bearish rejection so far. This is still open. We still got 4 days left, but this is still a clean rejection here. And so we'll see. Again, another bearish consolidation here on Aaron as well. So you have a lot of instances where I don't think that we should be so hastily to long. Okay, and that's the thing. I'm not even saying that we should be bearish. I'm just saying let's put the pause button on this and let's see how this develops. Okay, a lot of people think that we are not going to be, or that we're not going to be bullish until the inauguration. I disagree, but I understand what you're saying. That could make sense. I'm not into those kind of catalysts. I think that we could have a bullish day that day, and that's the thing. We might get a bullish day that day, and even a bullish week, and then that's it. And people are going to forget that because people on CT have memory or goldfish memory on these kind of things. Anyway, that's kind of, I'm taking too long with this, but you see the point. It's probably going to take place in my observations with Otsu that I didn't do either. So, but that's pretty much what I'm looking at. I mean, the markets have reflected this. The last 3 days have been pretty bearish over here. You had a push up here at the retest here, fierce rejection, it engulfed and went to the band, and then it hit the 50 EMA, which is what this this line is. So, and we're still struggling with that. I think we can hold it for now. I'm still staying sidelined for me. I think this is a key area here on the daily. the 90,000 marker. I think we're going to probably hit that next. Okay, this is your big range that you also could be focusing on too. So ultimately, this is your range. Okay, we broke down below the range here. So the 102 on the highs, 90 on the lows. So that's what I'm looking at. Another bearish consolidation here. Failure of the RSI so far. This, I don't see why this looks good to people. I just don't. Okay, and I've even saw a very recent comment like 10 minutes before I logged in to record this. Somebody said, I don't understand what you guys are talking about because my altcoins look good. Well, that's my point. I think Bitcoin is going to stall here, and your R&R is going to be better with altcoins. Okay, so I'm not saying this is going to be a market-wide catastrophe, and I think there's people that are confused. You know, I saw another post that's like, if you're bearish, you were never bullish. Like, what kind of joke is this? This stupid. It's just really silly commentary that is not reflective of the charts. Okay, at the end of the day, your goal is to make money at some point, right? So you capitalize on that opportunity. You wait for the next one. Some of you guys are going to long for 4 years, even longer, and you're going to make zero money because you never took profits. You never look at the markets for the weakness, the momentum changes, and everything like that. So anyway, take that with a grain of salt. So going on to the 4 hour, this is very choppy conditions as well. It's not giving me anything to work with. This kind of slow, cascading downward move. It's not really beneficial for anything. It's not really telling me anything. There's no strength here. There's no momentum. There's nothing for the bulls here. So I just don't understand what we're doing. So I still think that we're going to hit that low, 90,000. We'll see if we can recover this. If we can, we're still above the 50, so there is a chance that we could recover here. If not, we'll see where that goes. So we did fail it about, just towards the end of 2024. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to Ethereum. Spend a lot of time on that. And so Ethereum had a good push up to the zone, hit the top of it, fierce rejection, actually rejected through the trend. This is very bad. Okay, this is kind of what I'm talking about. These are not bullish markers. Okay, and when we get a consolidation like this, a little bit of an impulse and a rejection that rejects through pretty much all of that, I think it may have hit the mid. Yeah, it hit the mid and rejected. We're still in the same boat, so we're probably going to hit 32.73, which isn't far away. We actually hit that yesterday too. But this is probably going to come back down. Okay, and so your next target. Let me see here. Oh, that's wrong. A lot of chicken scratch on here too. Is probably going to be here, about 3,100. So we'll see. I still think we can hold the threes, but this to me is a good sign that we could break down. I already broke the 50. Like this candle in particular broke through everything. The fact that people think that Ethereum looks good here is really strange to me. I don't see it. I don't see how all of a sudden this is bullish or this looks good. We had a high bearish cross too, which is one of the worst type of crosses that we can get for a momentum swing. That's a very bearish side. Now the good news is that's a very thin one, so there is some opportunities with that to mitigate that. But bulls are clearly in control here. So we'll see. I still think I'm looking at 3,100. This here, yeah, these wicks to the downside, not good. See, and the thing is, people are blaming it on like Silk Road with the Bitcoin too, and that's just silly. Like you're trying to find reasons to justify a price action because you weren't looking at the charts to begin with. So we had a push up over here, but this is already looking kind of fadeable. We'll see how that goes. Again, if it breaks the 32.73, we're going to 3,100, and it's like $100 at a time, but it's just how it is. So let's go ahead and go to Solana. Solana is down almost 2%. A lot of these are pretty down too. I mean, that's the thing. I just don't understand people's justification for some of these. So Solana broke through our long here that we looked at before. Again, broke through. This could have been salvaged, but this one didn't. It's already done. So same thing. You had your consolidation, markup, quick markdown. That's not typically very good in most cases. So like this is a good example. Consolidation, markup, a little bit of a longer markdown. but tends to go back down to the low. Okay, so about 181 is kind of what we're looking at. And so most of these are, this is not the best, but consolidation markup, the same thing. So that's the kind of idea here. You don't want to revisit this so soon. I think that's kind of the point here. So we'll see. Need to hold 181. I think that we can. If we don't, we still have this trend line. I think Solana is probably the most volatile, but still has limited downside. I mean, probably another 11, 12%. Whereas I think Bitcoin could go much lower. Let's see if we go all the way down here, about 20%. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's Solana. Quick little thing with that. So anyway, so that's the video. A little bit longer than I anticipated, but again, I didn't do observations with Otsu today, so that's going to fill in that void. Premium, you guys, if you're in our premium group, if you're not in our premium group, you can please join. If you are, you got a private video coming up right after this, the Market Plus video, which we do. So we do 5 regular videos every week, and then we do 5 extra videos for the premium members based off altcoins and opportunities and different charts that they want to see. So anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.